2 segundos.
He's an extraordinary example
Ella cree que es un ejemplo extraordinario
of somebody who's had his own problems in Cuba.
de alguien que ha tenido sus propios problemas en Cuba.
I hope you don't mind that I say that you once tried to get here on a raft.
Yo espero que usted no le interese que yo diga aquí que él vino en una balsa,
Was caught by the Cuban Coast Guard and put in jail for a year.
que fue capturado por los guardacostas cubanos y fue puesto en prisión en Cuba
And then tried again
y trató de nuevo
in a very risky voyage.
en un viaje muy arriesgado.
Managed to arrive here.
Logró llegar aquí a los Estados Unidos.
And I won't give his life trajectory, but I just want to say
Y no voy a dar la trayectoria de su vida, pero solo quiero decir
that he's a person who made his way from Miami to Seattle,
es una persona que hizo su camino desde Miami hasta Seattle.
joined the National Guard because he thought that was a way to give back to the country that took him in.
Se unió a la Guardia Nacional porque pensó que era una forma de devolverle el favor al país que lo recibió.
Had no idea that the U.S. was going to invade Iraq and that he was
No
going to be
tenía
sent
idea
there.
de que Estados Unidos iba a invadir Irak.
Worked as a medic
Trabajó como un médico
and was given a Bronze
y
Star
se le dio una
for
estrella de
saving
bronce
lives.
por salvar vidas.
Became a high school teacher
Se convirtió en profesor de secundaria
and started teaching his students. He was a Spanish teacher, taught his students not just Spanish,
estaba tratando de enseñarle a sus estudiantes, él era el profesor de español, no solo español,
but taught his students songs, Cuban
enseñó a
songs,
sus estudiantes
poetry, love for Cuba.
canciones cubanas, poesía cubana,
And then he started taking his students to Cuba,
y empezó a llevar a sus estudiantes a Cuba,
took dozens of students to Cuba.
docenas de estudiantes a Cuba,
And if you ever see those videos, it's the most heartwarming thing.
y ella ha visto los videos y es la cosa más cariñosa
The
que ha visto.
love between these young people from Seattle and these young people from
Ver
Cuba
el amor de estos niños, de estos jóvenes de Seattle por estos jóvenes de
who
Cuba,
had so much in common with each
que
other,
tenían tantas cosas en común entre ellos,
especially their love for music.
especialmente el amor por música.
Because one of the other things that Carlos does is play the guitar and sing.
Porque una de las cosas que hace Carlos también es tocar la guitarra y cantar,
And he's a great dancer, as are his sons.
como un gran bailador también como sus hijos.
But he started, and I'll quickly say that when he came home from Iraq, he found out that he wasn't allowed by the U.S. government to go to Cuba to visit his son.
Y cuando retornó de Irak, se encontró con la noticia de que no podía regresar a Cuba a visitar a sus hijos.
And that turned him into an activist.
Y eso lo convirtió en un activista.
And since then, he's been one of the most creative activists you can imagine,
Y desde entonces ha sido uno de los activistas más creativos que ustedes pueden imaginar.
including going with family members and on bicycle all the way from Seattle to Washington, D.C.
Incluyendo un viaje con sus miembros de su familia desde Seattle hasta Washington, D.C.
Using social media and getting tens and tens of thousands of people to follow him on Facebook.
Usando la social media y logrando que muchas personas, cientos de personas, lo sigan en Facebook.
And then he came up with this crazy idea of walking from Miami.
Y después vino con esta loca idea de caminar desde Miami.
In the middle of the summer.
En el medio del verano.
And some of us thought, well, what are you going to do? It's Carlos. We have to help him.
Carlos, tenemos que ayudarlo.
And as you see, he got an amazing group of people to walk with him.
Y como pueden apreciar, él tuvo un grupo muy bueno con él.
Amazing group of people like Cheryl, like Ike, like Pete, others to help along the route, to have events in every stop along the way.
Un gran grupo como Cheryl, Pete, what? Ike, sorry, I don't know the name, sorry.
Yeah. And so I'm showing that this is what a leader does.
Y
A
eso nos
leader comes
demuestra
up with
lo que
ideas.
hace un líder. Viene con ideas.
A leader inspires other
El
people.
líder inspira a otras personas.
And Carlos does it with so much joy.
Y Carlos lo hace con mucho, lo disfruta mucho,
With so much
con
energy
mucha energía
and with so much love.
y con mucho amor.
And this organization called Bridges of Love
Y esta organización llamada Puentes de Amor
is really, really all about love.
es realmente todo acerca del amor.
And the most loving guy is Carlos Lasso. So please get up and give him the kind of thanks that he deserves.
Haremos bien un fuerte aplauso a Carlos Lasso. Gracias a todos, muchas gracias. Él va a hablar en español y yo voy a hablar en inglés. He's going to speak in Spanish, I'm going to talk in English.
Primero que todo,
First of all,
voy a ser breve.
he's going to be brief.
Okay. Primero que todo, quiero agradecerle a todos ustedes que están aquí hoy.
First of all, he wants to thank you, all of you that are here today.
Gracias. Quiero agradecerle a las personas como Cherry,
I want to thank people like Cheryl,
como Peter, como Camilo, como Ike, y como todas las personas que de una forma u otra,
like everyone,
nos
one way or another, they help to be successful in this journey.
Quiero agradecerle también a las personas que no quizás participaron activamente, pero que me mandan mensajes, que hablan todos los días conmigo, que me animan a seguir adelante.
We want to thank all the people that they are not here in person, but every day send message, and I will always support it all the time.
Quiero agradecerle a Jorge Medina.
We want to thank Protector Jorge Medina,
Un hermano con el que encontré hace un año
a brother which I found a year ago,
y que se demuestra que las personas no necesariamente tienen que pensar igual en todas las cosas,
that shows that the people not necessarily have to think the same way in all the things.
pero si están juntos en el amor, entonces eso es lo importante.
But if they are together in love, that's what matters.
Cuando yo tenía 5 años, yo vivía en un pueblito que se llamaba Jaimanitas.
When he was 5 years old, he used to live in a little town called Jaimanitas.
Vamos a hacer silencio, caballero. 5 minutos.
Silence people, 5 minutes, only 5 minutes.
En Jaimanita yo tenía amiguitos que jugaban conmigo, vecinos, eran como familia.
In Jaimanita, he has little friends, like they were like neighbors, they were just like family.
Una de las peores pesadillas o ideas que yo tenía era que un día me iba a separar de esos amiguitos que eran tan diversos, amiguitos negros, blancos, mestizos.
He was afraid, he had like a nightmare that one day he couldn't be put apart of these little friends. They were different kind of races, black, whites, all the friends from the neighborhood.
Mi sueño era poder vivir con esos amigos siempre.
His dream was to be living with those friends always.
Después me fui de Cuba.
Later on, he left Cuba.
Recorrí el mundo.
He was around the world.
Fui a la guerra.
He went to war.
Y terminé luchando por la familia cubana.
And he ended up fighting for the Cuban family.
Luchando por esos mismos niños que se quedaron en Cuba, que son hoy padres, abuelos.
Fighting for those little kids that they stay at Cuba and today they are fathers and grandfathers.
Yo tenía la tristeza de que había perdido a mis amigos para siempre.
He had the sadness that he would have lost his friend forever.
Pero descubrí que la vida es maravillosa.
But he found out that life is wonderful.
A través de este trabajo de activismo,
Through this job of activism,
descubrí que mis amigos se han reproducido de una manera extraordinaria.
he found out that his friends have been reproduced of uncommon way.
Mis amigos, igual que cuando era niño, blancos, negros, latinos, anglos,
His friends, same way he was a kid, black, whites, Latins, Anglo,
ahora están en todos los Estados Unidos.
they are now all over the United States.
Ahora están en todo el mundo.
They are all over the world.
Y ese es el regalo más grande que puede recibir alguien.
And that is the biggest present that anybody could receive.
Construir puentes de amor entre el pasado, el presente y el futuro.
To build bridges of love between the past, the present, and the future.
Nosotros, ustedes son los amigos.
You are the friends.
Ustedes y todas las personas alrededor del mundo que construyen puentes de amor son los niños con los que yo jugué de niño.
You and all the people around the world that are building bridges of love are the kids that he used to play when he was a kid.
Y esta vez los juegos y la alegría
And this time, the games and the joy,
vamos a convertirla en levantar el embargo que pesa sobre Cuba.
we're going to transform it, to convert it into lift up the embargo that blockade the sanctions to Cuba.
Por los niños cubanos,
For the Cuban kids,
por los niños estadounidenses,
for the Cuban American, for the American kids,
a los niños del mundo,
for the kids of the world,
puentes de amor.
bridges of love.
Gracias, hermano.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to have some wonderful musicians who are from Bolivia and wanted to show solidarity with you all. The group called Rumisongo. We're going to need a little time here to get ready and get the mics in place. In the meantime, do you have any questions that you would like to ask to the
Hey, Status Quo
people
crew,
who came
Jenn
from
here.
Miami?
I am at an
Yes.
event calling on Joe Biden to end sanctions to Cuba. I was live from the rally earlier today, so this is a secondary event. I apologize for the bad angle. This is literally the only place left in this room to be in.
I feel that I'm doing something for my ancestral homeland. And also, and me in particular for the revolution, for what is standing for. They've given me the opportunity to participate in something. And as you did something incredible for me, so I want to thank them. Make us not much, but I feel that I'm doing something. That this whole I'm doing something for what I support. I want to thank Brother Stone. I want to thank Donald Castle for this effort.
You guys won't be able to hear most likely the questions from the audience. Someone was just thanking those who are supportive of Cuba, those who have turned out, etc.
Wonderful. A pedicab driver from New York City. So anybody else want to add something?
This, of course, is Medea Benjamin of Code Pink.
Yes.
And they are getting ready to have some live music here.
Hi, my name is Stephen. I am a Cuban American. I am from Florida. I just want to thank Carlos. Bridges of Love was something that resonated with me. I was very afraid. I was very afraid because I live in Florida and there is a lot of hostility, there is a lot of threat toward us, the one that think that the embargo is illegal, it is not right. The ones we think that Cuba has the right to decide their future within the Cuban, not within the United States involvement. I was for a lot of time suffering. I'm also a nurse. I take care of everybody. It doesn't matter what religion, what political orientation or belief they have. I take care of people. So for me, it's very strong to be here today because I finally, because of Carlos and his message of love, I align myself with what I believe and I overcame my fear. And I stood and I will stand for what I believe is the right thing to do. I think it's very inhumane and brutal to have the people in Cuba going over a pandemic that is so devastating. I work with COVID. I'm an ICU nurse and I've seen a lot of death. I've seen a lot of people dying alone without the family members. I mean, at the end of the pandemic, what we nurses talk in our locker room when we are talking to each other is how sad among everything bad that is happening in the pandemic in the world and in the United States, and especially in my unit. What we talk is how sad and terrible it is and we give each other support to go over this and try to go and overcome this pain. How sad it is to die alone. How sad it is to not to have your father and your mother and be able to see them when they die. So I don't want that for my people in Cuba. I think it's wrong that the United States is giving money to the groups in Miami and they are trying to move these people in Cuba toward this in the middle of the pandemic. I think we should take care of each other first. I think we should be in social isolation. We should wear a mask. We should get vaccinated. I think I'm also a microbiologist from Cuba. I'm a graduate of the University of Havana in 1991. I worked in Cuba for 10 years in the scientific places that Fidel Castro created. We were part of the science revolution. We were part of, because the embargo of the United States, we had to create our own medications. We had to create our own science to try to produce the medicines in Cuba. I personally work in a animal fabric for vaccine for animals. So we create a lot of vaccines for stop the infections of the crops and the animals itself. So in the cultures and in the animals. So I know how much Cuba has spent and I know how much Cuba has tried to do the right thing for their people. So I try to be centered. I try to be honest with myself, and I know there is a lot of problems in Cuba that the government has to fix, and the Cuban people have to fix with the government. That's why I'm here because you will ask, why are you here if you love Cuba so much? I'm here because of the embargo. I had to leave my country. If my country would have not had an embargo, I would have stayed in my country because I don't need too many things to live. I'm nervous to talk to you because I'm still feel that I can be retaliated against it. But I also believe in the goodness of this country, the foundation of this country that is about is the land of the free. And you should be able to come here and talk freely about what you believe. And I don't think that should be able to be attacked to fight for what you believe as long as you don't attack anybody else. So I feel for the people of Cuba. I think it's brutal that in the middle of the pandemic, they are trying to mobilize people in the streets and try to get them killed. And they are dying daily because as I'm a nurse and I work in the ICU. I know how much money the United States spends saving a life. Cuba don't have that money. I know the treatment that is needed for the COVID pandemic. It's a lot of money that we spend in one person. I know Cuba is trying what they can to save their people, and they haven't done anybody in the street like I have happened in Peru, in Ecuador, and all these countries. I'm talking as a humanitarian here. I'm talking about a person that is seeing people dying and don't want to see people dying in my country anymore. I want the medicine to get there. I want the syringes to get. I have my whole family in Cuba. I only have here my husband. My mother is 80 years old. My father is 82 years old. My sister, my brother, my nephews and nieces, all my neighbors and friends are in Cuba. The ones that stay, the ones that have to live like me to get a better life because we couldn't make it there because the United States has made it impossible to be there. I used to work in a hospital in Havana, Amejidas Hospital. I was a microbiologist and I worked in a lab. I worked in a scientific post for a few years. Then I went to the vaccine. Then I went to the hospital. I know very well what I'm talking about. I know how much, and I know very well how much I try not to leave. I didn't want to leave my country until I was 32 years old. I wanted to stay. You know why I wanted to stay? I wanted to stay because I didn't want to be away from my community. I knew the price that I had to pay to leave, but right now, because of the embargo, I send them money so they can survive and have something. But now I cannot even send money. I don't think it's fair if I am an American citizen and I have the money that I make honestly I work and I pay taxes on it. I don't steal. I don't tell anybody what to do. I don't think President Biden has any right to decide when and how I send my I want also, because Carlos has inspired me so much, and many other people that I know in Conversaciones Americanas, it is a very good outlet that a professor called Arturo Lopez Levy, who was my boyfriend in Cuba back then, who I admire very much. I'm married now and I love my husband, but I admire Arturo's capacity and his commitment to fight for what is right. And Arturo and Carlos has a beautiful program that is Conversaciones Americanas that they're trying to inform and give. And because I'm not a politician, I learn a lot from them both. So I have a lot of things. So the other day I went online and I checked, okay, many Cubans' argument is that why do we want to send remittances to Cuba, which is going to help the Cuban government? Guess what? See those facts. You know the main recipient of remittances of the United States is China. You know what regime China has? It's a socialist country. So why not Cuba and why China? Is my question to you guys. You know why not? Because China is powerful. China has a huge economy. When Biden says the communist or the socialist is a failure. Hello, Mr. Biden. Leave the embargo and let the communists to show you how failures they are. So, I am a people person. I'm just analyzing, getting the guidance of these people, the good people like Nikia. My country needs syringes. Cuba has produced the vaccine. I work in a center that we work hours for non-stop to produce medications. We did what we could. You know what is happening in those remittances? I went to the World Bank statistics. China, India, Pakistan, France, and Mexico. They are the main recipients of remittances. Do you know where the highest amount of money came from? From the United States. United States, the immigrants in the United States who want to help the families are the ones that have been spending the high amount of money. $68 billion has been spent in 2020 by the United States immigrants to their countries of origin. Why no Cuba?
Right,
So those are the questions I ask myself, and those are the things that made me decide that I was not gonna be smaller than my fear, that I was gonna be taller than my fear, higher than my fear, and I was gonna come out and do what I think is right for my family in the middle of the pandemic. But even if there were not a pandemic, what is right for the people of Cuba is that they decide their destiny without the intervention of the United States intervention. Thank you.
This airplane that just spoke here, that's what we are doing right now. We are building bridges of love in order for Americans, for Cuban Americans, not to be afraid to speak out, because the majority of the Cuban Americans want change, want the sanctions to be lifted. Hate is very noisy, love is very quiet, but those who love, we are more, and we are going to make it, we are going to do it, and we are going to lift the embargo. That is a
So we have other people who want to speak, but the musicians are ready. We'll have some more talking afterwards. And I just want to also say to you that since we were successful in a big coalition in the United States in raising over $500,000 to buy 6 million syringes to send to Cuba. Now we are on the next phase of raising money for medical supplies and medicines. So please help us in that. You can go to the ProPink.org website and donate online, or we'll pass something around if you want to make a donation. Anybody who's got a hat, take your hat off and we can pass it around. Here's one. All right, so we want to thank Ruby Songo. Yes. And thank you so much for coming. Sorry for the chaos.
Canta, canta. Aló, aló, aló. Aló, aló. Queríamos venir hoy a recibir a los caminantes con música, porque sabemos que eso es lo que más les gusta a los cubanos. Esta pieza se llama La Muralla y es un poema de Nicolás de Jenn. This tune that we play is called The Wall, and it's a poem by Nicolás de Jenn. Me he tomado la libertad de cambiar unas pequeñas frases, imagínense, pero creo que es lo justo, ya que estas personas que han hecho venir hasta acá desde Madrid, la muralla.
Hey folks, I'm gonna put this on a tripod and go grab a different mic. I have no idea what's going on with the audio. It should be fine. And no, I can't move positions, if I'm too close to the PA system or whatever. This event is at capacity. This is the only spot. I'm literally sitting on the floor next to the stage. So apologies for the bad angle and all that, but this is a very cool event. So I'll be right back. Excuse the camera shaking for a second. I'm gonna have to prop this up. I apologize, guys, but listen to the music and enjoy.
Palomita, paloma morena, paloma morena. La paloma morena, tengo yo prendido. La caída, la palomita, paloma morena, tengo yo prendido. Palomita, paloma morena, tengo yo prendido. Quisiera también volar, pero como yo no me dejo volar, pero como yo no me dejo volar, a la orilla de la mar, a la orilla de la mar, a la orilla de la mar, a la orilla de la mar.
Sorry about that, guys. I think we're good now.
Let's give another hand for the wonderful group from Bolivia that came here to show their solidarity with the Cuban people. Thank you so much.
A ver, Robin, ahí se oye. Sí, sí, yo creo que se ve. Vamos a andar a ver, a ver. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Cultivo una rosa blanca en julio como en enero. Cultivo una rosa blanca en julio como en enero. Para el amigo sincero que me da su mano. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Y para el cruel que me arranca el corazón con que vivo, y para el cruel que me arranca el corazón con que vivo, cardos y hormigas cultivo una rosa blanca. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Y de leopardo un abrigo en su monte seco y alto, y de leopardo un abrigo en su monte seco y pardo. Yo tengo más que el leopardo, porque Guantanamera, Alito, Guajira, Guantanamera, Cariba, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Miguel, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Sandrina. Dice así. Sigan pasando bien. Voy a cantar una canción. A la Jevita. Como los luceros, la luz en fortuna de los poetas y las estrellas, las acaparan los que administran amor. Como ese cielo ya hipotecado, no le caben ganas y se han agotado los últimos centímetros calientes, brillantes del sol. Yo te ofrezco todo el barro de mis pasos, mis senderos, mis trillos sin luz, los caminos, los valles, los campos y del mar. Te regalo el azul del planeta, te ofrezco lo humano, o lo bello, lo tierno y en fin, las distancias, los ríos, los lagos que llevaron mi cuerpo hasta ti, como el firmamento el banco quebrado y las esperanzas ya se han descolgado. La luna es moneda que no paga deuda de honor. Y los comerciantes han domesticado brillantes cometas que son calcomanías vendidas en tiendas horribles al mejor postor. Yo te ofrezco de mis frutos las semillas, de mis surcos te ofrezco el sudor. De mi tierra te brindo la vida, Cuba. De mi vida te brindo el amor. Yo te ofrezco la flor con espinas. De los hombres te ofrezco el valor. De mi tierra te brindo la vida. De mi vida te brindo el amor. Hay una que se parece a una de Silvio, pero es mía, es mía. No, es mía, ¿verdad? No le gusta vestir ropa elegante, de la moda pues escoge la humildad. Y aunque suele comer en restaurantes, no le gusta vestir ropa elegante. Por ahí el pelotón, ¿está bien ahí? ¿Tú querías bueno, ¿está bien ahí?
Como quiera que quede, está buena.
No le gusta vestir ropa elegante, de la moda pues escoge la humildad. Y aunque suele comer en restaurantes, la cocina de la casa le va más. No le gusta vestir ropa elegante, él prefiere los pesos que se dan, sin pintura de los labios, sin alardes, donde sobre la abundancia de humedad. De los senos siempre escoge los cansados, los que tengan buena historia de mamá. Y sexo uno ardiente, bien mojado, usadito que se entregue pa' quemar. De perfume los olores femeninos, francés bueno pero ahora el tropical. Y de viajes los azares del camino, del planeta él se queda con el mar. Ha venido con su canto de tan lejos, de una aldea de la España medieval, pasajero de infeliz barco de creo, ha venido de hacer bien y de hacer mal. Ha venido como aquellos que vinieron agresivos de dar vida y de matar. Muchas veces que es el bueno, es dejar que lo ayudara a pensar. Ha tratado de escalar una montaña, fue en la Habana de la balsa el capitán. El naufragio saludó por la mañana, guerrillero disidente, luego Juan. Ser humano puede ser su única meta, de deseos él se queda con la paz. Y de padres corazón con etiqueta, elegante enamorado, pa' que más. Elegante enamorado, pa' que más. Bueno, esta canción es de la escuela mía, que la hice para los estudiantes. Los estudiantes tenemos una fábrica de sueños y entonces a veces ellos me dicen, señor Lazo, tú eres un mago, ¿sí? Y yo le digo, tú también puedes ser mago, pero tienes que creer en los sueños, tienes que creer. La canción se llama El Mago, dice así. Yo soy el mago que fabrica sueños y arcoíris en tu fiesta de soñarán mis sueños, abundantes como en jardín las flores. Has hecho bien en frotar tu lamparita, has hecho bien pidiendo 3 deseos, has hecho bien pintando tu carita, has hecho bien creyendo en lo que creo, has hecho bien mirando las estrellas, has hecho bien cazando los luceros. Los sueños van cantando por el cielo, pero tú debes de creer primero. Una canción, una emoción, un verso, todo el calor, la lluvia, los misterios, hasta el amor que te lavado y te ofrezco, pero tú debes de creer primero. La luna, el sol y lo que llevas dentro, y la pasión que con mis ojos veo, un renacer de tus sentidos muertos, te ofrezco yo, si crees en lo que creo, porque yo soy el mago que fabrica sueños y arcoíris en tu fiesta de colores, el dulce brujo de gritar amores, abejita en tu panal de empeño. Yo soy el mago que fabrica sueños y soy ritmo caliente de tambores. Y los milagros llenan de sueños, abundantes como el jardín las flores.
Sorry, folks. I went to get a room for a second. A kind gentleman told me that it fell off. Sorry about that. Party now, folks.
En toda mi cubanía, cubano soy, y las raíces están toda la vida, cubano soy, y donde quiera una guayabera y un sombrero de guano. La vida por su tierra. Y en su bandera se celebra. Como dice, vamos arriba Cuba.
there were going to be more speeches, folks, so let me see for a second if they are.
No quisiera irme, pero ya son 7 días sin trabajar, mi familia ahora necesita de mí, tengo que mandar dinero, señores, entiendan eso. Ya saben, Cuba primero, la familia cubana primero y ahora protejo salario.
But the owners of this restaurant, Andy and Marjan Shalom, have given us a place unlike any other in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much. You make it open.
As Andy said, you couldn't do this in a church basement.
In any other restaurant. So thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Quentin Zamor. Thank you, Cheryl, for all your incredible work. Thank you, Pete. Thank you to everybody.
Como de tu pasión,
on the floor. This is where I've been the whole time. So it looks like they're not going to do any more speeches. It seems like things are kind of over, but the spirit is high. People have had a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, but that of course has come after it's been a long time coming, let's say that. So what people have to realize is that this is kind of the culmination of events. So this is the celebration, the party, let's say. Hi.
Hello.
You're not in the camp.
Hi everybody. I came all the way from Miami walking. Hi.
Yeah, tell them about it. Let me get you more in the future. Alright, so I was telling the audience earlier about the walkers, about what you guys did, but since you're one of them, tell them what you did, why you walked, how far you came.
Well, we came all the way from Miami to Washington. In the United States, all the way from Miami to Washington, because to breathe freely without blockade. Because what really matters is not politics, it's love. It's about the fact in Cuba they're having problems because of the embargo, because of the blockade, and we need to fulfill his promises. That's all we be a fulfill your promises.
And from what I understand, like logistically, you guys walked from Miami in 20-mile segments, taking turns. Is that the way it went?
We were appreciate it's shift 60 miles a day.
That's incredible. How long did that take you? How many days?
Well, we June 20, and we today one a day before yesterday.
And so one thing I was trying to explain also to folks was that this is the culmination, the kind of celebration, the party at the end of a lot of events, a lot of work, a lot of effort for you, especially as someone who walked from Miami. Talk about the kind of propaganda that's out there that you had to fight along the way. Because obviously earlier today at Lafayette Square Park, there was a counter protest that is pro-U.S. sanctions. What have you had to counter?
Well, you is paying YouTubers in South Florida, in Miami, to make a campaign against the breaches of love, because there is a lot of money going on. There is a YouTuber named Alexander Otaola. He just bought a huge house from the taxpayers, attacking the Cubans that defends Cuba. It's a big problem, but we're not afraid because we are in the right side of the history. We're in the side of love, and they are in the side of hate. There is a lot of Cubans manifesting now in the White House for the last 15 days because they found out we were coming, and that's why they went there. And now they are trying to shut our voices, making noise, talking nonsense. But at the end of the way, it's not about who screams louder. It doesn't matter how loud you scream if your scream is a big lie. We are here to defend love and the Cuban family. That's our main core. Love and the embargo, the blockade that is killing my mom. My mom has multiple sclerosis, and I have no way to send money to her. And the only one way is $40 every 100 in a very illegal way. I have no way to send medicines to my family, to my mom, and that's why we're asking Biden to fulfill his promises.
And that's something for those who aren't aware, in January, then President Trump added a lot of rules, and one of those is that family members, Cuban Americans, cannot send money back to families still in Cuba. They're blocking sending medications. There are syringes that are blocked right now. So even humanitarian aid that is supposedly approved still gets blocked, and it can take months, and that's the reality. Speak a little bit more, if you can, on how this is affecting your family, your mom. What is she going through? What is the other family members?
Look, I don't want to get into politics because this movement is not about right or left. Because in our movement we have people who don't like the Cuban government. And I like the Cuban government. And we agree in disagree. So we're not talking about how do you think, what is your side. We're talking about the love we have for our families there. We have a common ground, and that is the love for our family. And that's why we are not screaming consigns or any of those. We are talking the same language, a medium term. You know, we talk to each other about the love for the family, and we forget about our differences. And that's all about. That's because all of us, we have family there, we have friends there, we have neighbors we left behind. And right now, they're going through a lot because of the pandemic and because of those 245 sanctions Donald Trump put to please the politicians in Florida, to please Marco Rubio, to please Mr. Ted Cruz in Texas, you know, to please these guys, to get their favors, to get their votes, to get what he wants. And at the end, who's paying the price is my mom in Cuba. And that's why we walk all the way to Washington from Miami.
One of Joe Biden's campaign promises was that he would lift these sanctions, and he has not done so.
He have done nothing. He have not nothing of his promises. He promises to take back all that Trump did. He promises, and a man of a word have to fulfill his word.
If he were standing here in front of you right now, what would you say to President Biden?
With all due respect, Mr. Biden, if you promise something, you got to achieve your promises, because there's people suffering. There's people suffering because of what Trump did to my family.
And if people are sitting at home and they aren't sure how they can help or learn more, where can they go? Any resources or websites, social media?
Where you can go to Facebook, Carlos Lazo, Professor Carlos Lazo. He's an activist. You have seen him. And you can get a lot of information there for him as well.
And if you want to give the folks your name, go for it. Otherwise, no, you don't have to. And any last words you want to say?
Of course. I'm not afraid. This is my face. My name is Roberto Gis. I'm a Cuban American, and I'm proud to be a Cuban American. Cuba is my mother, and the United States is my father, and they are divorced. I'm the son in the middle. I want them to make them work.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your words. All right, folks. So I'm going to sign off. I'm on a wiggly tripod here. I'm going to sign off. I appreciate all of you folks watching, and stay tuned because we will be live tomorrow. Again, I'm sitting on the floor because it was so packed in here. Just a ton of support for these folks. It's been great. So I appreciate all of you. Keep up your support. Join Status Quo as a member if you haven't already. Statusquo.com/join. I'll see you later. Bye bye.